How's it going, everybody? With the frame checks done, we're moving on over to the max punishes for the new heroes. I'm sure that's way more interesting and applicable. Once again, we're starting with Shaolin, so let me know what character we should continue with. As usual, we're starting with the basic stuff. On Guardbreaks, he can throw a heavy attack, both top and side, do 25 damage, so it doesn't matter which one you choose. On a heavy parry, you get your sidelights. You can either throw all three, which I only advise if that kills the opponent, or you can flow into cheese stance after 2 of them. The double lights give you 18 damage, and the triple lights 24. Light parries once again give you a heavy, side doesn't matter, damage is always 25. You can either flow into cheese stance or try for a 400 millisecond follow-up light, both options are perfectly viable. Wall splats give Shaolin 3 more damage. You can get the follow-up light guaranteed, but it will be reduced damage. It's 3 extra from the light, so no real reason to even attempt to throw. His running kick also wall splats, though those will be the only instances you want to go for them. If your opponent doesn't reach the wall after the running kick, you have different options depending on the character you're doing it to. You can throw an unlock light for 12 damage or a top light for the same 12 damage again. On static guard characters and side lights, you have to go for the side they are not guarding. On assassins, you get the full triple light no matter the side. But you need to time it correctly, because a buffered input will result in your sidelight whiffing. I mean, the running kick isn't really a viable move, so decide for yourself whether you want to practice this. The kick out of cheese stance, on the other hand, is very viable. The kick itself guarantees a follow-up light for 20 damage. You need to really buffer that input. If you don't, the normal light you'll throw will be blockable. Another option after the kick is the sweep. It is not guaranteed and can be dodged. If you land it though, you can get your triple lights again. Once again, this requires proper timing. One weird thing here is that even if you mess it up and your opponent's guard comes up, your lights get a weird form of uninterruptible property, which will let you flow into cheese stance, even if blocked. The third and last option is to do the top unblockable. That one is never guaranteed. It can both be parried or dodged. And the same goes for the kick from the tier 2 teleport feat. I've seen people say that it is guaranteed if you do it on a person that is not locked on. That is not the case, but mind you, the Dormeister knew what was about to come, so he was able to parry it. If you do it to an unsuspecting enemy, the chance of it landing is obviously much higher, but just know that it is never 100% guaranteed. Moving on to the out of stamina punishes. They are the exact same both on throw and parry. For the throw, you always want to throw them backwards. From there, you do a heavy from whichever side your guard was in, flow into cheese stance, and then do the top unblockable. Now listen closely. If your guard was top, this punish is safe. If your guard was on the side, then the punish is unsafe. We've tested dozens of them, and I could never counter Guardbreak when my guard was on the side. You can still mess up the timing on the top one to make it unsafe, but a little practice fixes that. Damage always clocks in at 65. The safe punish is to simply go for 2 heavies. Damage is just 5 lower, meaning 60, but you can be sure that you won't be guard broken afterwards. Now there's another big caveat though. Terrain messes quite a bit with that punish. The first heavy suffers from poor tracking and the chance of it whiffing is quite high, both on parries and throws. Little bumps are just enough to cause this, stairs, slopes and all that make it even worse. So keep an eye on your surroundings. On revenge activation you can do a forward dodge heavy into light. If your guard was already top, then you can simply throw the heavy normally, but the damage is still the same. It clocks in at 49 combined. His out of lock is pretty straightforward. Every heavy confirms the follow-up heavy because of its speed. That also goes for the forward dash heavy, which has quite the range. You get a free 60 damage if you catch someone out of lock. The last thing is his deflect, not really much to say about it, but you can flow into cheese dance from it. And that wraps up Shaolin. If you found additional punishes, please share them in the comments. I hope the video was helpful. Thanks for watching. Laters everybody.